By now, you must have heard about this Russian crypto couple who was found dead in UAE desert, and also about this news where $11 million of crypto was stolen by a fake delivery driver who allegedly went into the home of Sam Altman's ex. So in this video, we are going to talk about the rising threat of crypto kidnappings and robberies, some examples, and then we will be analyzing the most common and most dangerous threats that you might face soon, how you and your family can become a hard target for these criminals, steps to protect your digital identity and footprints, what changes you should make immediately in your home security. We will also be learning about wrench attacks and how to self-custody, what safety measures you should get when traveling to any other place, special considerations for high net worth individuals and public figures like influencers, how to self-defense even if such an encounter happens, and finally, what to do if you are being wrench attacked. So let's start with the introduction first. Kidnappings, home invasions, amputated fingers, duct-taped victims, fake delivery men, cyber stalking, and leaked personal data have a lot in common. Why? These are the tools of the trade used in dozens of attacks against crypto holders this year. Just a few days ago, a thief posing as a delivery driver stole $11 million in crypto from a San Francisco man. The attacker buzzed his doorbell before talking their way into his home, pointing a gun at him and tying him up. The San Francisco incident isn't the only one. Criminals have used physical attacks to steal hundreds of millions of dollars in crypto from unsuspecting victims on almost every continent. It's safe to assume that many other attacks have gone unreported. I'm aware of at least 3 unreported in the US this year. Many digital asset holders only think about digital security, but risks from physical threats are rising. Which attacks might actually happen to you? Military planners focus on enemies' most likely course of action and most dangerous course of action. We'll take the same approach here, and our enemy being anyone that might want to physically steal your crypto. Most likely scenario, wrench attacks. Wrench attacks are still very uncommon in the overall crypto threat ecosystem. So, what is a wrench attack? A wrench attack refers to a situation where physical force or intimidation is used to compel a victim to surrender access to the cryptocurrency holdings. The term originates from a webcomic illustration that, regardless of sophisticated encryption, an attacker could simply threaten someone with a wrench to obtain their password. In the crypto context, this translates to criminals bypassing digital security by targeting individuals directly, often through physical violence or threats of violence. Now, you are far more likely to encounter digital scams and phishing attempts, or even lose your own private keys than encounter real-life muggers. If you do encounter a wrench attack, it's probably because a criminal sees you as a target of opportunity. In fact, many wrench attackers seem to be amateurs rather than expert thieves. So, what might that look like? A neighbor breaking into your house to find your seed phrase after you bragged about your crypto holdings at a barbecue. A stranger nabbing your laptop or backpack at a coffee shop because they saw you scrolling through Coinbase. Someone stealing your phone from your hand off the street in a random attack. Getting a knife or gun pulled on you at night in a city where there is a crypto conference and you are most probably wearing a Bitcoin t-shirt. Now, the most dangerous scenario. A coordinated group with expertise in open source research, breaking and entering, crypto security, and criminal tradecraft targets digital asset holders, executives, and influencers to force them to hand over their crypto or hold them for ransom. French police have arrested at least 24 people for their involvement in crypto-driven violent kidnappings and ransom plots. At least some of these men belong to a coordinated group with logistics infrastructure, musclemen, and strategists. The group acquired vehicles, houses to hold victims, fake license plates, and a variety of masks, fake guns, geolocation trackers like Apple AirTags, but less obvious, and other supplies needed for the kidnappings. The group disguised themselves as fake delivery drivers and kidnapped multiple high-profile individuals tied to the French crypto ecosystem, including David Balland, a co-founder of Ledger. The group held the individual for ransom, demanding large amounts of crypto from loved ones and cut off fingers from two victims before being apprehended. In the recent attack in San Francisco, an attacker impersonating a delivery driver duct taped the victim and then beat him while holding a phone on loudspeaker, where voices on the line repeated personal information they had obtained over and over. The physical harm and torture dynamics of these attacks raises serious concerns. While very few attacks resulted in murder, it's important to understand the stakes in these scenarios. These people want your money. They don't want to pick a murder charge. He's David Balland, a co-founder of blockchain security company Ledger, who was kidnapped for a ransom earlier this year. Now you know the most likely and most dangerous scenario. Here is what to do now. Become a hard target and don't stay a soft target. The terms soft target and hard target were popularized through public interest in terrorist attacks over the last several decades. Most people understand that terrorists preferred attacking soft or easier targets compared to hard targets that are better prepared. Crypto thieves are also looking for soft targets. It's why they are going after individual crypto investors in the first place instead of mobbing banks. They want to catch unsuspecting victims off guard and create a stressful dynamic that forces them or loved ones to give up funds. It's your job to become a hard target and make yourself unattractive to potential attackers. Social media, digital targeting packages. A robust social media presence is a gift to attackers. Many on crypto Twitter are fully doxed individuals whose profile reads more like LinkedIn than any anonymous message board. For those who are not doxed or think they are not, posts on social media often reveal enough about a person to figure out who they are. Recycling old usernames for crypto accounts on X, Discord, or Telegram can also help attackers figure out who you are. Is your Xbox username from high school really anonymous? An innocent family selfie from your backyard, a group picture at a crypto conference, or even a picture of your favorite restaurant's food might show details that reveal where you live or even your current location. Here is an example of when Bellingcat geolocated an endangered animal seller based on social media posts and Google Street View images. Even an amateur with access to Google Street View and popular AI tools like Grok could easily recreate this type of geolocation. Your social media posts won't just leak your location, they can also make you a target to begin with. Many on crypto Twitter fall into a trap of posting profit screenshots or flexing their new watches and cars. While it's assumed that many CEOs or influencers with followers are wealthy, even though they might not be, but criminals absolutely use X to find potential victims. This isn't only applicable to physical threats, but also digital ones. You can trust that if you start flexing wealth online, scammers will direct their efforts to you. I'm not saying don't post about crypto or be active on crypto Twitter, but for the love of God, shut up about your wealth. There is very little to be gained from it and everything to lose. The same rule applies in real life too. Some physical attacks and robberies come from the people that know the victims in real life. You can onboard your friends to crypto without letting everyone and their mother know you have money. It's time to clean up your digital dust. Almost everyone with internet or financial history has data that has been leaked, stolen, or posted mistakenly online. In some countries, this data is easily purchased. In others with stricter data laws, leaked data can still be bought from darknet markets. Recently, there was an attacker targeting a crypto CEO in Europe who was able to purchase extremely sensitive data about the CEO's daily movements for around $6,000. When the potential payout is big enough, attackers will absolutely buy black market data on you. Services like Delete Me or Optree are a great start for most people. These tools take whatever data you provide and find where it's posted on the internet or available through data brokers and get it taken down. You'll pay between $5 to $30 a month for these services, but it's better than having your home address in the top Google search results. We will talk more in depth about public figures and high net worth individuals later, but due to the unique risk around wealth or fame, these individuals should consider more robust threat monitoring and security services. Your home is your castle, and you are the king. Regardless of if you keep your keys at home, which you should not, and we'll discuss this next, attackers will assume you do. Attackers also target homes because you are there and will attempt to force you to transfer funds, tell them where your keys are stored, or kidnap their victims to later extort a ransom from loved ones. An important rule for your home is to never let a stranger in who you haven't asked to be there. There should be no showing kindness to someone needing to use a phone or asking to use a restroom. The fake delivery driver in San Francisco talked his way into a home by saying he forgot a pen to collect the victim's signature. If a stranger shows up at your door, keep the drawbridge up. Choosing your home. When buying a home, renting an apartment, or if you are already in your forever home, it's important to evaluate how secure the location is. For example, apartment buildings with a doorman, mandatory guest sign-in, and cameras at entrance will deter many potential attackers compared to renting a townhome, or a home in the middle of nowhere might be more of an attractive target than one in a neighborhood with a neighborhood watch. There is no one-size-fits-all solution, so it's important to evaluate the trade-offs with each step and mitigate the unique risk that comes with it. Hiding your home. Making your home a hard target can take a variety of different forms. Using the data cleanup tools mentioned earlier will help you erase connections between you and your home online. It's important to understand that public data records still often expose home ownership, so just relying on these won't be enough. To combat this, high net worth individuals and public figures, but also privacy focused individuals, should go further by setting up anonymous legal entities such as LLCs or house trusts to hide who actually owns the house. This is way simpler than people think, and you can use Google to figure out how to do it. Low risk and high reward. Finally, individuals can also request that Google blur out your home on Google Street View, making online reconnaissance a little bit harder. Pretty much anyone can make their home an unattractive target at a relatively low cost. Consider options like privacy shades on windows, motion sensor floodlights, security cameras, security alarms, security films on windows. People willing to shell out more money can even consider turning a bedroom or walk-in closet in your home into a panic room. Think of this as the key to your castle. Many security companies also have cheaper panic button products that will alert them that something has gone wrong and they will call the police for you. Keeping one of these handy could be a lifesaver during these home invasions, which have at times lasted hours. Plenty of time for the police to arrive. Wrench attack resistant self-custody. The rise in wrench attacks has led some to loudly declare that everyone should get BTC exposure through ETF. This couldn't be further from the truth. Self-custody is the best way to truly participate in crypto, and allowing others to custody your crypto creates a whole different set of issues. There are several self-custody solutions that keep your physical attacks in mind and add a lot of friction for attackers. Kesa vaults, safe multisigs, and Zengo are few options. Whatever you do, please do not keep all your crypto secured with a phone app or Chrome extension. A stolen device or quick street robbery can be the end of your portfolio. Key storage. Bank safety deposit boxes are cheap and almost everywhere. Your seed phrase is literally the key to the kingdom of your crypto wallets. If you store them at home, a home invasion could completely wreck your portfolio. Consider keeping at least some wallets and seed phrases at a secure location away from your home, such as utilizing a bank safety deposit box. There is absolutely no reason to custody your full crypto portfolio in your home. Limit it to active trading so all your eggs aren't in one basket. Even storing your keys at a second home you own may not prevent all attacks. Earlier this year, a man in Minnesota was kidnapped and forced to drive 3 hours to his family's cabin to retrieve his crypto wallets. By using a bank safety deposit box, you help take advantage of bank level security for your private keys. Safety when traveling. When traveling, you are almost always at a disadvantage from a physical security perspective. You are away from your home turf and on someone else. A few things can reduce your risk of running into issues while traveling. Do not post online that you are traveling ahead of your trip. Wait until you are back home before sharing pictures, talking about it, or etc. Do your research on local crime statistics and pick hotels and make plans with that information in mind. If traveling for crypto work or events, be very mindful of how you dress and what you signal about your relationship to crypto. Don't discuss crypto with strangers, including hotel staff, taxi, or rideshare drivers. The key here, blend in and don't signal opportunities to attackers through your posts on social media. If you let them know that you are not home, then they may take opportunity to break in. High net worth individuals and public figures. High net worth individuals and public figures like CEOs, influencers, streamers face even more risk than most crypto investors for obvious reasons. They are more public and attackers assume or know they are wealthy. Crypto CEOs probably face even greater threats than CEOs of major public companies because of financial components inherent to our industry. Unlike major public companies, crypto CEOs typically do not have full security teams doing threat analysis and even providing physical security. It is recommended that public figures and high net worth individuals in crypto consider building or outsourcing at least some of these functions as a part of their business budget. Truly recognizable public figures should also consider personal security details, at least during high-risk travel to crypto conferences or to less safe cities. There are hundreds of well-trained former cops, Secret Service, CIA, and military personnel who provide personal security for hire, and it does not always have to break the bank to get quality when you know where you look for. Finally, high net worth individuals and public figures should talk to families about potential wrench attacks. Work with your security teams to plan out about their safety. Kidnapping for ransom plots won't only target the primary individual, but also grab soft target family members to demand payment. Self-defenses. Self-defense should be the priority for you. Police response times are slow, and the criminals conducting wrench attacks pursue victims who they perceive to be the soft targets. Being prepared to defend yourself can both deter attacks and stop them, but it isn't foolproof. You cannot be as effective as 24/7 security team, and we all have to let our guard down sometimes. Unfortunately, self-defense in these situations has a low recorded success rate. Only about 6% of known attacks have been prevented due to the victim's self-defense. Not sharing this statistic to discourage you, but rather let you know that preventive measures are more important to preventing wrench attacks than only relying on your self-defense. In this section, you can read it aloud or you can request this document so that you can have a full look about these instruments or things. So if you can't own these things, these are hard to access and outlawed in many jurisdictions. If you live in places like this, don't assume that potential attackers won't have guns. We spoke earlier about how an attack in France failed due to locals and the victims fighting back. Showing an attacker that you won't go easily may deter them. Some non-gun self-defense options: pepper spray, baseball bat, pocket knife, your car if being carjacked, just try. So what do you do if you think you are being range attacked? There is a video that shows that one of the attacks in France where a group tried to kidnap the daughter of a crypto executive off the street. She only escaped due to the bystanders running to help. We can draw some lessons from the video, which shows that the victim fighting back and struggling while making as much as noise as possible to attract attention from passerby. The video goes on to show a couple of men rushing in and grabbing anything they could for weapons, even a fire extinguisher, despite the attackers appearing armed with guns, possibly fake ones. The bystanders' bias for action caught the attackers off guard, forcing them to stop the attack and escape into a waiting van. Kidnappers escaping into a waiting van after failing to kidnap the daughter of a crypto executive in France. This example shows that every attack does not need to end in disaster. The victim's response was more fight or flight instinct than a solid framework. First off, if you feel you are in danger, you should call for help. Police response times are slow, yes, but they are not forever. Use home panic buttons discussed earlier combined with new apps like Glock app to have coverage at home and on the go. We have even seen some attackers impersonate police officers or be the real police officers themselves. You can always call 911 or your emergency service hotline to verify a police officer's identity and location. Once you are in danger, here's the framework I use when thinking about this type of scenario. Run. Is it possible to escape the situation? In the military and intel world, we call this getting off the X, the location of the threat. If you can remove yourself from danger, absolutely do it. Hide. Is it possible to hide from an attacker? Maybe in a closet or in a panic room? Maybe it's ducking off the street into a busy store or bar. Hide in a defensively advantageous position. The closet in your bedroom where there is a weapon is better than hiding in a bathroom with no weapon. Or fight. If you are out of options, fight like hell. Use the self-defense mechanisms we discussed earlier. Remember that attackers want soft targets, not hard ones. Make noise, get other people involved if you can. At the end of the day, you will decide whether you have to fight or comply. Hopefully, you have used strong self-custody solutions to prevent the worst harm coming from an attack like this. And if you are forced to comply, it's not devastating. Wrapping it up, the threat from range attack is rising, but they are still rare. While I think everyone needs to prepare to handle them, start with your digital security first and then your physical security. When planning for your physical security, keep in mind where your digital and online behavior may intersect the real world. Stop talking online about your profits, vacations, and the flexing. Trust me, it can come back to bite you. There is no one size fits all solution to crypto security, but especially not real world crime. If this video did not answer your question, please reach out. I've helped dozens of crypto executives, influencers, and investors evaluate risks around physical security. If you found this helpful, please share it with your friends and family in the space. Criminals are attacking us in this way because it works. The more we prepare for them as a community, the less successful they'll be and the less they'll attack. Embassy out.